Welcome in to Greenville Grit, Greenville residents in touch on 103.7 WTIB. This is the local show that keeps you connected and in touch with the issues that affect what's happening in your community. Greenville Grit is sponsored by Ribeyes, Kid Construction, and Greenville Toyota. Now, here are your hosts for Greenville Grit, Terry Williams and Michael Overton.
Good evening and welcome to Greenville Grit. I am Terry Williams and I'm here tonight with my co-host Dennis Mitchell. Thank you for joining us this week.
No problem, no problem.
And we have a very special guest with us, Bianca Schoeneman, Director of Uptown Greenville.
Terry, Dennis, thanks for having me. Such a pleasure to be back.
Thank you. We're excited. We want to get a good update from you on everything that's going on. This is a perfect time of the year to find out what's coming up for spring and summer, and I think there's a lot on the calendar that we want to take a look at. First, we want to thank our sponsors before we get started. Greenville Toyota, they have been with us since day one.
Day one.
And we appreciate their sponsoring our show, and you can get new or used vehicles from them. We have Ribeyes still as our sponsor. They have a location in Greenville, of course, that's really doing well. They've been really, really busy. I know we've had to, there have been several nights we've tried to go and there have been wait, and that's a good sign that even though you don't like to wait, but their food is really good. And they also have a location in Williamston.
Don't forget, if you mention Greenville Grit, you'll get a special treat, and we do not know what that is.
I don't know what it is. Sometimes
I'm trying that next time.
Yeah, sometimes it's a shrimp skewer, sometimes it's a dessert or a discount. So just be sure to mention our show to them, and you'll get that discount. And then we have Kid Construction, who came on board a few months ago, and they are considered a green builder. So they beautiful construction of new homes, and I'm sure that he would love if you gave him a call or had your agent give him a call and get together about building a new home. And also the Overton Group. Michael has continued to sponsor, and they are commercial, residential, business brokerage, and property management company, and can help you with any of those needs. So we're going to take a quick break and come back and get started with Bianca and let us know what's going on in Uptown Greenville.
Again, everyone, welcome to the Greenville Grit. Me and Terry are here along with our special guest, Miss Bianca, the Director of Uptown Greenville, and we're going to learn about some very exciting things. I know with her on the case, we got some exciting things going on in Greenville. So Bianca, let's quickly start. I know we got the parking deck opening this weekend, the plaza. Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so this has been a long time coming. The Greenville's first structured parking deck. We were very, very excited to have vertical parking in our center city. It represents 238 new parking spaces right in the heart of our city. And I think what's beautiful about this parking deck is it's been open for a couple of weeks now. We've been able to test it, and we're seeing that the community really is responding appropriately to it.
That's great.
They're utilizing it. There's been zero incidents related to public safety there, and it's looking like a great public asset. The deck, the story about the deck that I think is most significant, though, is its connectivity for the pedestrian to various parts of our center city. So as you guys know, in addition to the vertical parking, they also included a plaza in and around that connected to the existing businesses. And so this plaza will also open this weekend, and the plaza offers connectivity to 4th Street, to Cotant Street, and to Evans Street.
Right.
So it's just a beautiful point of access for both the car and then the pedestrian to maneuver throughout the center city and visit our retailers, our food offerings, and our cultural offerings as well.
Right. Now, when it first opened, or was getting ready to open, the clock wasn't installed. Now it is. And
correct.
It looks really, really good. I saw it this morning earlier.
Thank you, Terry. I agree with you. I think it's a beautiful complement to the deck's architectural features, and it really makes it more of an iconic public asset with the addition of the clock faces.
I think so,
and
too.
4 of them, too. We were able to raise money for 4 of them.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I used the deck a couple of times already. I was going to lunch at the new Crossbones Tavern downtown.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there was no parking at 5 Points Plaza. I was going to have to park by the library, and I drove around the deck, and it was actually, a couple-minute trip to Crossbones Tavern, and I think it worked out great. So, and I saw a lot of people utilizing, so I think it's going to be a great asset to Uptown Greenville, and we should probably start future planning for the next one.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's right.
I fully agree with you.
So, what other things, since we're already talking about projects, what other type of projects are going on downtown, or new businesses or things like that?
Well, you just mentioned Crossbone Tavern, which, as you know, Crossbone Tavern is located along Fifth Street and is a restaurant that has sort of exchanged hands quite a few times in recent past, but it's been taken over by Chef Eric Pooley and his team of managers, the Moots family, and they're bringing a great live music, sort of authentic Southern American cuisine to the forefront of Uptown Greenville, and it's really a great offering because it has live music throughout the week and over the weekend, but the food there is
amazing.
so delicious.
I want to try it. I haven't
Have
seen
you
it.
had it?
Tell us the exact location.
It is in the former location of Peasants Pub or BW3.
For the older people.
great.
For the older
Yeah.
people like us. Exactly.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds
the
great.
food was amazing. I don't know what you had, but I had the pork chop, the fried egg, and also had the Cuban sandwich.
Cuban is
And,
beautiful.
Don't tell my wife about the apple pie and the ice cream. I mean, the food is amazing. I'm like, when I had it, it was so high class for a reasonable price.
Right.
I was like, wow.
Right.
Well, that's great.
It's quite delicious. We also have a new offering by way of Healthy Fare. We've got Uptown Nutrition has just opened up in the former Uptown Greenville office location at 301 South Evans Street within the Proctor Hotel building. That is a smoothie and nutrition health coaching offering that have.
Okay.
I'll visit them.
Have
Say
you?
hi. I will say hi.
I haven't visited that either. I got a lot to look forward to.
I'll say hi.
And Allison Sparks, who is the owner of Uptown Nutrition, is really the happiest person in Greenville. She might win an award for that.
Well, that's a great location, too, for something like that, walking over from the courthouse and different areas. What a great location.
I fully agree with you. And when we were talking with Self-Help about leasing to Allison, we said, we feel like we have a bit of a wellness nook going on in this corner. There's a mutual attraction between what Allison is doing health-wise and what's happening with the yoga studio across the street. And so, yoginis can come over and enjoy a nice smoothie post-workout. To satisfy their souls. And most exciting, too, as you guys remember, Pita Pit was a longstanding tenant along Fifth Street as well. The owner of that franchise decided to go back home to Kansas and didn't close for any bad business reasons, but just decided it was time to be closer to family. And we have soon coming Mi Cabana Express, which will offer a sort of more condensed, faster version of Mi Cabana.
Oh, wow.
That would be really nice. And the
amazing.
students will love that.
Students will love that. I fully agree with you.
That's great.
Yep.
Well, all of these things are producing exactly what we're trying to do in the Uptown area, which is more walkable areas. And it's just so exciting to see that it's finally coming around.
I fully agree with you. The dense, walkable center city is evolving. We're seeing businesses above and beyond the retailer and food services begin to knock on the door. We're seeing professional services now. We entertained a national franchise for front office use this week to look at renting in the Uptown District. It was very exciting. There's lots of conversation about bringing new employers to the Uptown District. And as you guys know, the Superblock project that worked in conjunction with ECU's real estate department was able to leverage the registrar's office. And I think they're bringing 50 new employees to the center city. And those employees in turn will shop in the Uptown District. They'll enjoy lunch in the Uptown District. And hopefully they'll enjoy the benefits of walking to our great park, the Town Common, on a day like today, because it's just a lovely day. Thank you, Spring, for coming.
I know, really. Well, I think, too, with the Taft Ward project coming about, maybe the people who had even thought about, I want to open up an eatery of some sort in the Uptown area, this is perfect time, primed for it. So if they'll go ahead and get their plans made, because it does take time.
It does.
Then when that is, fully full of new students, it's just the sky's the limit with what can happen down there.
And I can't speak more highly to the impact that the Taft Ward project, the boundary at West End, will have on our district. Currently, the U.S. Census Bureau estimates that our residential population in the Uptown District, the 6x9 area block that's officially the overlay, is about 524 people.
So they're going to double it.
They're effectively going to double it because that's
Exactly.
a 545-bed
Wow.
project.
Wow.
And that's just an amazing amount of people.
is.
I was listening to this conversation about smart growth the other day, a podcast of sorts, and they said in order to reach the maximum capacity of your downtown's full potential, to have a thriving downtown, you must have 5% of your municipal population living in that downtown area. So that's about 5,000 people for Greenville. So we're going to get to 1,000 with the Taft Ward project.
Right.
So, but we have a lot of work to do to hit that crescendo number of 5,000 people.
But I think it can happen.
I agree with you.
Got some other things coming up. We don't know all the details about everything that's getting ready to happen, but
Right.
I think we could get probably pretty close to another maybe 1,000
I would agree
in
with
the
you.
near future,
I would agree
meaning
with you.
a couple of years or so. So
Absolutely.
that would be great. That's really, really exciting. So what else are you all working on? Lots of events coming up.
Yes, lots of events coming up. So, of course, the economic development work continues to progress. In tandem with the Office of Economic Development, we launched the Uptown Retail Challenge last year and have just selected a recipient to open a storefront in the downtown. So that moves forward. The Small Business Planning Grant Program, which is part of the Redevelopment Commission's
right.
plan of work, will open up in July of this year for new applications. So if you're interested in applying, please consider contacting Casey Verberg at the city's Office of Economic Development. And then, of course, by way of events, Uptown Greenville is a private nonprofit organization that serves as the voice of the downtown. We believe in a three-prong approach to downtown revitalization, economic development, branding, and events, and of course, public advocacy. So through our events work, we are seeing much exploration. We have expanded our repertoire of events from about 30 annual events to over 60 now.
Wow.
So we are exploding in cultural fun in the Center City. Coming down the pipeline in the immediate future is Spaz Fest, which, Dennis, do you know about Spaz Fest?
No.
Do you, Terry?
No.
Oh, okay. So interesting name.
Yes.
And tons of fun. So Spaz Fest was originally started in abandoned warehouses in the Dickinson Avenue corridor. And the Spazatorium would pick up bands that were coming from the live music and tech conference in Austin known as South by Southwest. And they would plug them in sort of into these warehouses. And they did this for many years as Greenville's live music scene was really lying dormant in the absence of a place to host live music. So the organizer of that event came to us 2 years ago and said, we'd really like to elevate it to be more like a South by Southwest, to add in more tech, more entrepreneurship, more awareness within the community, and we'd like to take it out of the warehouses and into legitimate businesses. And so we help that navigation happen. And this year, we're proud to say that we have lots of great sponsors, including the Pitt County Development Commission, the city's Office of Economic Development, the Keenan Flagler Institute, the IMAF. Lots of great people are sponsoring this. And we're going to do a hackathon at eAudit, which is a tech firm in the Uptown District. So if you're into coding, you can visit the Uptown website to learn more about how to register for that. And then we're also going to host a pitch competition or a Shark Tank event where we have $4,000 in cash prizes to give away to various categories of people that want to swim with the sharks, if you would. $4,000 is a significant amount of money, and if you're a student, a pro, a tech, or a general entrepreneur, you can come and pitch your 3-minute elevator speech, and there'll be a panel of judges to evaluate your performance, and we've got great prizes to go along with that.
Well, if you win the $4,000, you move in uptown, get another $15,000 for the small business grant.
Yeah.
There you go.
So $20,000.
Helps you get started.
We're filling those gaps. And then, of course, Uptown Greenville, in conjunction with the Pitt County Arts Council at Emerge, organizes Pirate Fest. And it's going to be amazing this year.
We love Pirate Fest.
Yes, we do. When is it exactly, the date of that?
It is April 10th and 11th, which is a Friday-Saturday combo.
Okay.
And this year, we have close to 20 live performances.
I was about to ask, because wasn't last year? Was that when you had the reggae band?
It was. We brought in the Wailers.
Amazing.
Wasn't that great?
So what you got for us this year? Are you telling us yet?
We tried really hard to land a great band, but we got this close to getting a very big name. And
the Bell?
We did not. We didn't win the bid. We didn't. I'm sad to say. I didn't send in Steve the Pirate soon enough to plunder that bid. Anyway, we don't have a great musical. We do have a great musical lineup. But new this year, and what's exciting, I think, about the event is that we're adding carnival rides. So for the first time in Pirate Fest's 9-year history, you'll be able to ride a carousel. You'll be able to go down a giant slide, ride the frog hopper. You know, the little motorcycle rides for the kids that goes around in a circle. That'll be there. We've got 8 carny rides coming in.
Oh, I think that's great because sometimes the kids part to me had been a little bit limited.
Right.
You know, because I would take my grandchildren down and I would think, God, I wish we had just a little bit more. It was fun. So I'm not putting down what you've done in the past. But it's like everything else. You learn and you keep improving it, and then you'll have even better attendance. So
that's
I'm
exactly
excited
why
about
we did
that.
it.
Right.
Somebody had said to us, you know, there's really nothing for my teenager.
Right.
So we've got adult rides, teenage rides, and some small children rides coming in.
That's great. That's good to know.
I'm really excited.
If I'm not mistaken, kind of skipped over something. Something that happened this weekend. Is that your event too?
Oh, yes. Thanks, Dennis. So we are partnering with the City of Greenville to inaugurate the deck opening at 2:30 on Saturday, April the 14th. And then at 3 o'clock at the 5 Points Plaza, we have live music to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. There'll be a Celtic band there.
I love Celtic music.
I do too.
Great.
We've got some food.
It's a secret about me. I love Celtic music.
Well, I'm sure I know where some kilts are if you wanted to come out
I don't
and
know about
bagpipe
a
a
kilt,
little.
but I think I have some Irish in me somewhere.
I could see that actually. I see that.
So I mean,
It's
so
exciting.
we have an amazing weekend this weekend, starting to heat up. Pirate Fest coming to town. This is always my favorite time of the year, especially being a parent with little kids, and then your grandchildren.
So
It's
much
always
fun.
something to do this time around. Uptown Greenville is going to be bustling. All the great things coming. We kind of talked about some of the things last week with Kevin. I mean, Kevin, you have the starting with the transit center.
Yes.
Is about to start. So that's another big project going uptown. ECU's talk about the Millennial Campus.
Yes.
The work with Dickinson Avenue. I mean, for someone in your line of work and being like a part of all this, it has to be an exciting time.
I have to agree with you, Dennis. I couldn't feel more proud about the partnerships that we have across different organizational lines. You know, to build a great community, there has to be collaboration. And I would say that Greenville is steadfast in its commitment to multiple partners, and all the leadership in this community seems to be pointing in the same direction. And that initial harmony between partnerships and various stakeholders is hard to come by, and we're there now. So there is harmony coming from the leadership of Greenville to grow our great municipality.
Right. Now, in recent days, there was some discussion with the City Council about some things that are coming to the Town Common area. Dennis might can elaborate even a little bit more. I've been sort of out of touch for the last 3 weeks, but they're going to start doing something down there that might, encourage people who are walking about, like you said a few minutes ago, to go on down and enjoy the Town Common. What will they be doing down there, Dennis? Do you know?
The fishing pier, I think that's coming. And just some aesthetics with the benches and trash cans. And I don't know if they worked it out to probably do something with the gateway.
Okay.
Although I would have took a different approach, I am appreciative of it because I do use the fishing pier a lot.
Right.
And it is underwater a lot.
I was going to say it's underwater probably
so
right now.
It's just exciting to see little things happening everywhere. We really need to get to the point where we go ahead and be able to go ahead and do the entire Town Commons. But I think with all the investment coming around and all the collaborative effort, maybe to spark the community.
The
to get more
public will
involved.
see more and more how important it is, because it is like one big piece of the puzzle. It's one big puzzle that we're working out in that uptown area. And as every little or big thing happens, like the transit center or whatever, then I'm hoping that they will see that this is part of the puzzle too.
I agree with you. It is one of our, if not the greatest public asset that we have.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a break right now and thank our sponsors again. And we'll come back and try to wrap it up with Bianca telling us what else is coming up.
Here we go back at the Greenville Grit. We've been having an excellent show today talking with Miss Bianca. of all the great things going on in Uptown Greenville, great projects, great events. And Bianca, again, just touch again what's going on this weekend in Greenville.
So for St. Patrick's Day in the Uptown District at 2:30 on Saturday, March the 14th, we are going to inaugurate the parking deck. So come celebrate that great public asset right at the corner of Evans and 4th Street. At 3 o'clock, we'll kick off at the 5 Points Plaza with a live music event. We'll have Celtic music. And then at 4 o'clock, the Ancient Order of Hibernia will present a beautiful St. Patrick's Day parade. It will be lovely, and you will feel like you are celebrating the luck of the Irish. There might even be a few leprechauns running around. I'm not sure. And then at 4:30, we bring in this band called the Lonely Biscuits, and they're huge.
Wow.
They're touring right now with Moon Taxi, and they have a great following. And there'll be free face painting and clowns. And, of course, we'll have Touch a Truck with the fire department on hand. So please come down to the 5 Points Plaza.
That's exciting.
And I don't really like when Uptown Greenville does events because it's something for the kids, something for the adults, something for the unmarried people. I mean, you really put together something for everybody. So,
well, thank you for saying that. We do put effort into making sure that there's a touch point for everybody in our community at the Uptown events.
So let me ask you about Umbrella Market. We'll be starting soon.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It will. Well, we should open up that application process in the next week or so. So if you're interested in being a vendor, just visit uptowngreenville.com. The application will be available for online payment as well as online completion.
Okay.
We're going paperless with the Uptown Market. And we go live on May 20th with the market.
Okay.
I'm going to try to grow some things in my garden and come down there and sell them. So we'll see if that works.
Well, I would like to request that it not be quite as hot. It's hot on every single.
Do about that?
You have to talk to God about that, Terry.
I'm planning to, because every time I want to go, I'm thinking this has got to be the hottest day we've had so far, which is great. We'd rather have that than not rain.
Yes,
but it has been really hot on some of those days. But it is a lot of fun, and it's such a conglomeration of different activities and people, selling products. And it's just exciting to see all of that coming into the Uptown. And I just want to comment. I know we've talked, of course, today's show was about Uptown, so we're going to only talk about Uptown today. But everyone's always saying there's so much emphasis on Uptown. But I think they need to realize that the stronger our core becomes, it's going to overflow into the whole part of our city and our county. And the more activities that we offer like this in the Uptown area for all walks of life, I believe that we'll attract from outside of the city, and then they'll bring, that'll bring them into our city, and they'll spend their dollars, and that's going to help everybody. That's going to help all the business owners throughout the city, not just in Uptown. But that's going to be a fantastic drawing card.
And we always like to remind people that the tax-based Uptown is exponentially greater than the rest of the city. So every dollar spent Uptown, public investment Uptown, turnover is a lot more than it does for the rest of the city. So that's what you're talking about, that strengthening that core, and it makes that city stronger.
Look, all the new growth has got to start somewhere. And so the way that it has done in Uptown, now it will spread out, I believe, beyond the Uptown area. But the Uptown has been a huge catalyst for growth throughout the city. So I think that they will see the benefit, even though sometimes it seems like they feel like sometimes outside of Uptown that's all we talk about. That's not really the case. And we're building an Uptown for the entire city.
That's so true. Yeah. And urbanization is a trend that is a necessity for survival in the 21st century for any municipality and county. And as the center of commerce, culture, entertainment, and retail for all of Eastern North Carolina, Greenville Center City is the pulse of all of that.
That's right. That's exactly right. So it's an awful lot to look forward to. So beyond that, way ahead of time, I'm already getting hits on Facebook about ECU football.
Yes.
So everybody's already thinking about it. So I'm sure you all already have your plans going up for free boot.
We do.
So that's always a big thing.
Free boot schedule is set. We're going to do 4 events this year, not 5 like we did last year. And we'll kick off Labor Day weekend at the 5 Points Plaza. We look forward to partnerships with Pirate Club and, of course, running the free game day shuttle and just continuing the great atmosphere that supports our downtown and the Pirates of ECU.
That's right. Well, and what they've done, which doesn't have anything to do with Uptown, but what they've done in the the new Hall of Fame and all of that. Everybody needs to go and see that when
I
they
agree.
get ready. It's just fascinating.
Very impressive, isn't
Very
it?
impressive, it is. So we've got a lot of great, impressive things going on all over the city, but we've got a lot of emphasis right here, which we much appreciate all your work for Uptown Greenville.
Thanks, Terry. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. And Dennis, you too. I know that you worked really hard at this. And you too,
Yeah,
as a
we both
volunteer.
did. Yep. We need to wrap it up. Go
Well,
ahead, Dennis.
thank everybody for coming into our show. Hope you learned a lot and participate in the events going on downtown. St. Patrick's Day Parade, opening the parking deck. And we appreciate you watching the Greenville Grit.